This is the units. Yildiz Turkish shotgun. Not a great shotgun, but it's when it works, it's alright. This is a 3-inch cartridge. It's about 21 grains of powder, and it's around 100 grain slug. It's the bigger slug of the two you can get. Alright, so there's a target down there, and what I wanted to do was to do a second test of the 410 slug test, which I did a year ago. And I've got a number of 2x4s stacked up against the stand back there, and I'm going to blast it. So here's my 410 strength test. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks, and if it hits this, it's sideways. But I'm going to run down the side here. I'm going to do it about 5 or 10 feet just to make sure I hit all the blocks and just see how many it takes out before it stops. Last time I took out 1.5 or 2x4s that went through, and we're just going to try it again. Okay, 410 strength test, firing 1 at 10 feet. Let's get this right. So, we finally stopped it. Took 1, went through the first one, went through the second one, went through the third one, and stopped right there, somewhere. And it cracked the board, but didn't go through. So there you have it. It'll take 3 of those. So basically 4 inches of solid wood before it stops. So if that's against a bear, I'm sorry, I don't know any bear that's going to be able to tackle that. But maybe we should do that again. That was one of the boards, but it won't matter too much. I want to make sure I didn't put any crap in the end of this barrel. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. So once again, it just went through. To the 3 boards, and the 4th board stopped it. So, gang, that's it. Pretty meaty explosion through there. Rips through, rips through, rips through. And both of them end up on the third. This one had an extra board in the middle, stopped there. This one didn't, and it went to there. Yeah, but there you go. I was going to comment about a few folks from the last test had said that their 22, or even when a 22 mag would go through that. There's no way that a 22 or 22 mag would penetrate anywhere near what a shotgun is going to do with a slug in it. Mind you, on a bear test, obviously a 12 gauge, 3-inch 12 gauge slug is just going to massacre anything. And it would be an ideal thing to have if you were fighting a brown bear. A little black bear, especially the coastal black bears that are out here, they're smaller. They're kind of like large, bull mastiffs, big dogs, kind of what they look like out here. They're not as big as even interior of British Columbia kind of black bears, but they are big enough, and they could give you some trouble. Most of the time they run away, but you have cougars and bears out here, and if you do need to protect yourself, I think, judging by today's slug test, I think it'd be okay. Now, mind you, this gun, sometimes it doesn't shoot, like it fails on its, the pin doesn't come out properly. So every 200th time it jams up. The other problem with this is you have it's a single shot. So if you're going to hit something, you got to make sure that you hit something. Mind you, even with the 30-30, I took a deer out last year. You hit it, and it's going to take a few minutes for it to die. So, and a deer is obviously less. Well, they're about the same kind of material, I would imagine. Bears are thicker, more muscular, but the bear is much smaller than the deer that I took. And although a 30-30 is obviously 30 grains of powder and a 30-grain bullet, but it generally just goes to show that you're going to be able to take out a bear if you're in a pinch. It's not legal, so you can't hunt with this gun, but you can defend yourself. I checked with the conservation officers, and if I was in a position where my life or his life, then this is how it would be. But it's a really off chance that you'd be in this position anyway. But it's light. It doesn't weighs like a couple of pounds, so it's not an imposition to take with you. Whereas a 12 gauge is heavier and more of a pain in the ass. Anyway, I hope this works out well for you. Take care.